with the tutorial for how to play an A major chord. So A major chord is actually not a terribly difficult chord. In fact, it's pretty easy. The only reason I usually wait to teach it is that you don't really use it a whole lot in most of the beginning songs in the key of C. So learning it is great, but then it's like you don't really have any songs that you can use it to play in, because in the key of C you rarely ever see an A major chord. However, one example of that where it does use an A major chord is Old Town Road, which for a while there was really popular and everybody wanted to play it. But other than that, you don't really see it a lot. But once you get into the key of G, where you're playing your G and then your D major chord, now you start to see the A major chord creep into those songs. So we're going to teach it to you today, okay? So I'm going to put the chord graphic up here on my screen and show it to you. And if you take a look at it, you'll probably notice right off the bat that it is pretty darn close to F major. I mean, the fingers are almost the same. There is one tiny little difference, which honestly is what makes this chord a little bit tricky to get into playing, because for a very long time now, you've been playing the F chord. Okay, so I'll put the F chord graphic up. So you can see that the F chord is where you put your second finger on G string, you skip C string, and then you put your first finger down. These are our green dots on our neck, on the E string. So our F chord is like that, right? But then A major chord, if I'm in F chord position, all I'm doing is lifting my first finger and putting it down on this brown or like beige almost dot, as you can see. So it's these two itty bitty dots right here, and they're right next to each other. So the only difference between F and A is one finger. So when you're starting to play A major, what will sometimes happen is your hand will just go into the shape of an F chord because you've played that so long, and those muscle memory neuropathways, like, they are ingrained in your brain at this point. So your fingers just go to F chord like you're not even thinking about it, and you have to remember that you have got to move that finger over one string over here to make it A major. This is what it should sound like if you're playing it right. There's your A major. So just like when you are learning any new chord, you're going to want to not just learn the chord, but learn it in a progression. So I'm just going to do kind of an easy progression here. In the key of G, we're going to use a G chord, we're going to use a D major chord, and then we're going to go to A major, and then we'll go back to G. Okay, so to start this progression, remember that we're going to start in G, and we're going to do 4 strums down on G. Okay, and then we'll move to D, and then we'll go to A, and then we'll go back to G. We're just going to try that as a way to get used to playing this. All right, so we'll start on G, and we're going to do that 4 times. We're going to do G, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to get to our D major position. 3 fingers, D, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to move into that A major 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go back to our G again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's a good progression to use. But like I've said in other tutorials, a lot of times you don't learn a chord until you need it for a song. So if you're playing it in a song, whatever the chord progression is for that song, practice the newest chord in the middle of 2 other chords. So if in the song you have to go from like G to D to A back to G, you'd want to practice that D, A, G, D, A, G, and just get used to kind of where are you coming from. So where are you coming from to get there, and then where are you going after that? And practice those 3 chords in succession just over and over and over for muscle memory. So if I was doing that for this, let's say I had to go from a D to an A to a G, I would just do it over and over. D, A, G. And not fast, not in any kind of tempo, like just play those 3 chords. So that, because that's probably, those are chords you're probably gonna see in a song that uses A major. So the biggest thing is just get used to not going to F, making sure your finger moves over one string. You don't accidentally play F when you mean to play A. And then practice in a progression that you would actually use in a song. So find a song that uses it and then practice playing it along with the other chords separately, not part of a play along, like just off to the side on its own, so that when you do go to play the song, you're able to get there quick enough. So it's pretty simple, but there's a couple little tricky things, but it's a fun chord to play. So I hope that this helped you guys. I hope that you're having a great day. Thanks for all your hard work. Keep on playing and have a good one.